Hello everyone, I'm Rohit and this is the day 8 of the transform function in the flow designer. So what is the transform function? We'll talk in a little bit later, but let's talk about that what are the things we are going to discuss in our today's class. So in today's class, what I'm going to do that I'm going to create a flow. So there will be a new flow and that flow will be triggered or the flow will be attached the moment the change request will be moved to the scheduled state. So first I'm going to create a flow and that flow is going to be attached in our change request table the moment the change move to the schedule state. From our flow, we are going to set the planned end date, which is nothing but start date plus 5 days. So through the flow, we are going to set that start date plus 5 days with that help of flow. Secondly, we'll wait for certain time when the change will be moved to the implementation state. So we are going to wait our flow or in our flow we are going to wait until unless the change is moved to the implementation state. And then after that in the step 4 once the change is moved to the implementation state we are going to send a email with that hi then in first name the first name is that change opened by first name which is in capital letter and this is only the first name not the full name the first name and then we are going to send a message called change request has been started with the change number and some date format. This is going to be we are going to send a email. So this is going to be our today's task and this is need the transform function. What is transform function, how we can use the transform function in our flow, that I'm going to discuss right now. But with the help of transform function we are going to do these stuff. So transform function is nothing but a inbuilt flow designer function that help us to do certain operation without writing any script. So we don't need to write any script. Without writing any script we can do a lot of things, like we can from a string or from a whole name we can just take a first name. So let's say that my name is Rohit Kumar. From this Rohit Kumar we can just take the Rohit. With the help of transform function we can add some date, we can subtract some date, we can check there is any value or not. So these things we are going to discuss in our today's session. Let's go back to the ServiceNow instance and see. So this is our ServiceNow demo instance. In this ServiceNow demo instance I just opened the flow designer. The first thing as I mentioned that I'm going to create a new flow. So I'll click this create new option and click the flow. Let's say the name is the change request and I'm going to change this run as to the system. The like run the workflow, I'm going to set that run as system. So the flow will be run and all this operation will be done via system user. I'll click the submit button and then I'll just skip this two. What is the trigger condition? I'll add the trigger condition, the record, and then update, and then what is the state, and for what is the table? The table is the change request table. So I'll say that change underscore request. So this is the change request table. What is the additional condition? I said that state should be in schedule state. So the moment the state will be changes to the schedule state, I want to run this flow. I'll just click done. And then what is the first thing I am going to do? That the first thing is that I want to set that I'll open an existing change first. So this is our change. So I'll open any of this existing change. The moment the change will be moved to the schedule state, the automatically system will set the plan start date and I will add plan end date from the flow with the additional 5 days. So whatever will be the start date, I'll add 5 days and set as a plan end date. So this is our first task. So first I'll go here, click add actions, click the actions, and then here I'll find out that out of box actions called update record. So I'll search with that update record and then select that. Which record I'm going to update? I'm going to update the record is change request. So I'll click here, trigger condition, change request. What value I want to set? I want to set the planned end date. So I will select the plan end date. Now the question is that what should be the value? The value should be the start date of this change request plus 5 days. Now how I can do or how I can add the 5 days? That is the question. Or how we can set the 5 days from the current date, right? In that case, we don't have any option. We need to be write the script. That is the one option. And the second option is the transform function. System provide a ability to do some transform function. Let me do that. So first, what we are saying that the start date plus 5 days, right? So I'll select that on the planned end date again. So I want to set the planned end date equal to planned start date plus 5 days. So whatever will be the planned start date, that date plus 5 days is our planned end date, right? How can we do that? So what I'll do, I will go here and then this is our static value. If you want to set some static value, we can do that, right? What I want that planned start date plus 5 days. What I'll do, I'll click here, record change request, and then I'll pick the planned start date first. So this is our planned start date. Now in this plan start date, I want to add 5 more days, right? So without writing the code, this is little difficult, right? But in the ServiceNow in Flow Designer, there is one option called transform function. If you click or hover over any of these, data pillar, you can see that there is a FX option. If you click this FX option, your transform function will be loaded and you can pick any of this transform function. Now, if you see that there are various type of transform function, like one is the math, one is the date and time, string, utils, sanitize cell arguments, sanitize SQL complex data. In our case, I want to add 5 more days. And you can see that if you click date and time, you have a options called add time. So you have a option or ability to, you can add the time. There are other methods. I pick some example to show you the demonstration, but you can explore more option here. Now, if you see that we have two sections, one is the available transform and then apply transform. So at that moment, I have not applied any transform, but these are the available transform. So what I am going to do that I am going to add some days, right? So I'll click add times and then what time we want. We want to add 5 more days. So we'll click and just put the 5 days. So let's understand one more time. So we are going to add 5 days from the starting date. So I'll click apply. The moment I click apply, you can see that applied transform is added, which is nothing but add time. So you can apply multiple transform on a single operation, but in our case, we just need only one transform. So I'll click that. And you can see this fx is right now in blue color. It means that this fx is applied. So what will be happen? The plan end date will be the plan equal to plan start date plus fx, which is nothing but 5 more days. I'll click done and save and simply test this transform function. So go here, pick any change. Let's say for the timing, I'm picking right now today's date, 27th. I'll copy this change number and at that moment you can see that the plan end date is empty. So it should add 5 more days and set that plan end date. Go back to the flow designer. I can click the test and then pick this change number. And once I'll click the run test, it should set that or it should update the plan end date. If I go back, you can see that the plan end date automatically updated that 5 more days from the 2 days. So this way we can, without writing our any code, we can add some date and there are many operations. I'll show you that one or two operation, but you can explore that. I'll go back again and what is the next condition? Our next condition is that we should wait for implementation step, right? So I'll click add sign and then go back and then click this action and then in this action we have a wait for condition. We can search this wait for condition and if I go back here wait for condition, you can select that. In this wait for condition, you can select that what should be the condition and what should be the record. In our case, we are going to wait for this change request and on which condition the moment the state will be changes to implementation. So I will wait for state changes to implementation or state is implementation, whatever is you think that. Okay. All right. So I'll click the done. So this flow will be wait until this change move to the implementation. Now, what is the next? Next is that I should send a email with that first name, hi first name, and this is the first name. I should pick that and it's in a capital letter. And then I should send a email with this change start date and end date. This is also I'm going to done through the transform function. Let's go back to the service now. In this service now, we have a actions called send email. I'll pick that one. So I'll search that send email, and you can see this is the default option, so you can select that. Now, to whom we are going to send that? For example, I'm going to send that requested by. So I'll pick that and then select that requested by. So I'll click trigger record change request and requested by. So I'm going to send this email to requested by user, and what should be the subject? For example, the subject will be this short description. So I'll put this one, let's say that short description. So I'll go here in the change required and pick the short description. And in case if you want to put some additional operation or additional thing, you can put that. Let's say that now after that, if you want to put this planned start date, you can put that. So let me do that, the planned start date. So I'll go trigger condition change request planned start date. Okay, so the email I'm going to send that call short description and then planned start date. Now there will be a body. So in the body we are going to send a specific type of message. What is the message? The message is like that. So hi, then I want to put the first name in a capital letter. How do you get this first name? So if I go back to the change request, and under this change request we have a requested by. Under this requested by, if we want to pick this, if we want to go and dot org, we will be able to find out the first name. That's the one option. But I'm going to do from the title, or I'm going to do from the name. So I'll take the name, and from the name, what I'll do, I will pick this first name and then convert to this upper class. So what I'll do, I'll go here and then I will remove that, and then I will click here this data pillar, trigger record, change request, requested by, and then here I'll put the name. So name will return first name and last name, right? So either you can pick the first name or we can pick the name. For demonstration purpose, I'll pick the name. So in this name, what will be written? The name will return this system administrator full name, but I want that only system administrator in a capital letter. How can we do that? For that, again, we can use the transform function. You can click that fx, and then first thing is that from this whole letter or from this whole text, how can we pick only first text, right? For that, we have a various string concatenation options. We'll go back here and then I'll go to the string. Under the string, you will be able to see there is a one options called split. So what does split do? Split normally part in a 2-part or 3-part or 4-part particular string, and it convert to a array. So if you go back here in the flow designer, it's saying that its split returns an array string based on the provided separator that split in the input string. So it needs the input as a string, but it returns as a array of string. Okay, so what should be our split? Our split is nothing but, you can see that first name and last name, there is a one space gap. So we can put that the separator equal to space and click apply. So our transform, the first transform is apply. In that way, it returned a array. Now what we need the first name or first array, right? For that, again, we'll go to the utilities. Under the utilities, all this array function is available. What we need actually the first element of the array. So we'll take that get first item from the array. So what we'll do, the whole text like system administrator, this text is split through that space, and then through the array, and it's written as the array, and then through the array we'll take the first index of the array, which is nothing but system. And then what next we need a to be convert this system to a uppercase. To do the uppercase, again we go back to the string, and then we have options called to uppercase. using the two uppercase, we can convert the whole text to the uppercase. We'll apply that. So right now we have applied three transform. The first transform is the split. Second transform is that get the first array, which is nothing but system, and then third transform is that convert that system to a uppercase. That's it. We'll click OK. So this is our first message, and then in this started, I want to pass this change number. So to pass this change number, again we can click dot work and then trigger record, change record, and we can simply search with the number. I'm not doing any operation at that moment. Now under this date, I want to put the format equal to actually day, then month, then date, then year. In this format, I want to put that start date. To use that, you can see this is not showing any day, right? How can we do that? Again, we can use this transform function. I'm just showing these options for your own purpose, and then click here, trigger record, change record, and search for the planned start date. If we pass this planned start date, the system will print this value, but we need the day, then month, then we need the date in different format. We also have a options called transform function. If you click the fx, you have a options called date and time, and under this date and time you have a options called date to string. You can select that, and then you can select that on a which specific format you need that. So for example, our case, we need the first day, right? In this format we can select that. Once we select that, this transform function will be applied in our that specific value. Similarly, planned end date also we can do that. So we'll click remove that and then click the pillar, go to the trigger record, change record, and then we can put the planned end date, and I can click again the fx, and then I can apply the transform, same transform, so date and time, and then date to string, and then this is the format I am looking for. So this way the transform function works, and let's save this whole flow and test once. I'll just save that and activate. So as we know, this flow is going to be attached whenever the change is moving to the schedule. So let's go back to our module, change module. I'm going to create a new change here. So, and here, let's say that I'm selecting the normal change. And let's say that I'm putting that short description equal to testing, and then I'm selecting, or I'm just saving that. So this change request is created at that moment. And if I go back to the flow designer and go to the execution, there should not be any, you can see this flow, or this flow is triggered 13 minutes. So there is no flow which is attached right now. Now I'll move this change to, let's say that request for approval. The moment we put the request for approval, let's say that I'll put the plan start date. So I'll put this plan start date today now and save that. And then I'll click that request for approval. So the moment I'm trying to remove the request for approval, it needs the assignment group, and I'll click this request for approval. So now change move to the authorized section, and then it should generate some approval. You can see that approval is generated, and it have some planned start date. The moment we approve that, it should add the plan end date with the 5 days from today's date. So let's approve that. So I'll just click and approve. So it is approved, and you can see that plan end date automatically populated. How this plan end date populated? As we know that we have a flow which is attached to this change request. So you can see that automatically it's showing an option called show flow. If you click that, it will open our flow, and which is nothing but waiting for completion. So we'll click that, and we'll click this open operation view. So you can see the first step is that update record is done. It is added 5 days from the current date. So if I go back here, so it's saying that 5 days from the current date. That is done, and that has been done through the transform function. Secondly, it is waiting for our implementation state, and once it is moved to the implementation state, it should send a mail. I'll go back here and click implementation. The moment I click the implementation, our flow should be go to the next step. So you'll refresh that and you can see the send email steps is moved and it's supposed to send a email. And this is the email which is sent. Actually, we can see that hi system, and then this is the change number, this is the day, and started and ended is showing right now. With the help of again the transform function, you can go back to the emails log. Even you can go to the emails and you will be able to see these contents even there. This is the emails, and you can see the subject is testing, which is nothing but the change short description and then change plan start date. If I open that and then if I click the preview email, you will be able to see that hi system. So it picks that first name and convert it to that capital letter, and then it's converted the date format with the day, then month, then date, and then year, and then time, this format. So this way you can use the transform function. There are more transform function is there, you can explore yourself, but I just want to show you that this function is available in the flow designer. You can explore that. So that's it for today. If you have any question, let me know in my comment section. Thank you very much. Have a great day.